The Galactic Empire spoke with an arrogance that spanned the stars, their supreme commander addressing all sentient beings with a voice cold and unyielding. "Let this transmission mark the dawn of a new age," the commander declared, their tone dripping with superiority. "The age where all civilizations kneel before the Galactic Empire, the pinnacle of technological and military might. Resistance is futile, and submission ensures survival. Choose wisely." The declaration played across the holoscreens of countless worlds, reaching even the far-flung edges of the galaxy where humanity resided. The Empire boasted of its conquests, naming planets razed to ash, species eradicated, and technologies rendered obsolete before their superior systems. Each word was a hammer blow, designed to crush the spirit of defiance before it could take root. On Earth, the broadcast was received with mixed reactions. Fear rippled through the population, a natural response to the sight of the Empire's fleet, vast and gleaming, poised in the void. Their ships, immense and bristling with weaponry, were the stuff of nightmares. These were not vessels of exploration but harbingers of annihilation, symbols of a force that claimed to be untouchable. But fear was not the only emotion ignited. In the faces of Earth's leaders, scientists, and strategists, there was something else. A spark of determination, a quiet defiance that no declaration could extinguish. While the Empire described humanity as primitive and inconsequential, the people of Earth exchanged glances filled with an unspoken understanding. They had faced extinction before, whether by nature's fury or their own conflicts, and yet they endured. The Empire's supreme commander continued, listing the terms of Earth's impending subjugation. "In 24 standard hours, your decision will be clear. Surrender your sovereignty or face complete eradication. The choice is yours, though I suspect it is already made." After all, no force has ever withstood the might of the Empire. The message ended abruptly, leaving an unsettling silence in its wake. Across the globe, people gathered around screens, their expressions a mixture of dread and anger. Some whispered prayers, others clenched fists. Still, the unifying emotion was not despair. It was a simmering resolve. Humanity had always been underestimated, dismissed by those who mistook their size for weakness or their chaotic history for ineptitude. Behind closed doors, Earth's most brilliant minds convened, discussing the ultimatum. There was no panic in these rooms, only urgency. Plans were whispered, hypotheses debated. The Empire thought it was delivering humanity an ultimatum, but in truth, it was lighting a fuse. The clock began ticking, every second bringing the Empire closer to the moment it believed would cement its dominance. Humanity had no illusions about the cost of defiance, but as the hours passed, one truth became clear. Earth would not kneel. Not today. Not ever. As the Galactic Empire's fleet advanced toward Earth, humanity moved with quiet determination. The ultimatum had been received, but it wasn't met with submission. Instead, humanity had spent decades preparing for the possibility of contact with hostile extraterrestrial forces. And though the Empire considered Earth a backwater, humanity's ingenuity had turned those decades into their greatest weapon. While civilians sought shelter, humanity's brightest minds gathered in hidden facilities. There was no room for hesitation, no time for fear. The Empire's arrogance was their weakness. Believing themselves untouchable, they had underestimated Earth's capacity to adapt. In these bunkers and laboratories, humanity's response was being carefully crafted, combining old-world resourcefulness with new-age precision. Earth's defenses weren't what the Empire expected. Conventional military power couldn't stand against fleets that could vaporize cities from orbit, but humanity had long embraced an unforgiving equalizer: nuclear technology. Long thought to be relics of terrestrial conflicts, these weapons had been quietly refined, improved, and hidden from prying eyes. The nuclear arsenal wasn't just about raw power, it was about strategy. Every warhead was designed with an understanding of physics, engineering, and the vulnerabilities inherent even in advanced systems. Humanity's leaders weren't merely relying on brute force. The key to success lay in the data, observations collected from years of quiet monitoring of alien activity across the galaxy. Humanity had pieced together a picture of the Empire's tactics, analyzing weaknesses that others had overlooked. Their seemingly flawless technology had cracks, and humanity's scientists knew how to exploit them. Shield harmonics could be disrupted, command ships could be targeted, and, most importantly, the Empire's reliance on predictability could be turned against them. The plan that emerged wasn't born of desperation but of cold logic. Humanity would launch a preemptive strike, not with overwhelming force but with precision. Stealth systems, developed to evade even Earth's own radar, were retrofitted onto missile platforms. The delivery mechanisms were as vital as the payloads themselves. The Empire would never see the attack coming, and by the time they did, it would be too late. Every detail was considered. Engineers worked tirelessly to ensure success, recalibrating guidance systems, double-checking calculations, and running final simulations. The weight of their task was immense. Failure meant the annihilation of Earth. Yet, in every face there was a sense of purpose. Humanity's survival was not just about their own species but a message to the galaxy. They were not to be underestimated. As the final pieces fell into place, there was no celebration, no cheers of confidence. Only silence and the resolve of a species pushed to the brink. The launch systems were prepared, the countdown synchronized. Humanity's gamble was ready, and with it, a hope that they could defy the inevitable. The Empire thought Earth would crumble, but humanity had no intention of fading quietly into the void. The countdown ended, and the Galactic Empire unleashed its first salvo. Orbital bombardments targeted Earth's key cities and military installations, but humanity's preparations turned what should have been a massacre into controlled chaos. Decoy infrastructure diverted strikes, and underground bunkers shielded critical command centers. The Empire's confidence swelled as their initial scans showed minimal resistance. To them, it seemed Earth was already breaking. But then, the counterattack began. Humanity's missiles launched from concealed silos deep beneath the surface, their stealth systems rendering them invisible to the Empire's scanners. The first wave of projectiles cut through the void with chilling precision, bypassing the Empire's formidable shields. By the time their sensors detected the threat, it was too late. The missiles struck at key nodes of their fleet, reactor cores, shield generators, and central command hubs, triggering a cascade of destruction. The first explosion shattered the flagship's outer defenses, its brilliant fireball visible even from Earth. The sudden loss of a command ship sent shockwaves through the Empire's fleet. Chaos erupted among their ranks as captains scrambled for orders, but humanity's assault didn't relent. Wave after wave of nuclear strikes followed, each calibrated to exploit the weaknesses identified in the Empire's shield harmonics and structural designs. Ships that had once dominated entire star systems were reduced to flaming debris in moments. The Empire's arrogance had left them unprepared for such an unconventional assault. They had faced countless species before, but none that weaponized their desperation with such calculated ferocity. Humanity wasn't fighting for dominance or territory. They were fighting for survival, and that made them far more dangerous than the Empire had anticipated. Amid the chaos, a turning point emerged. A coordinated strike targeted the Empire's fleet carriers, ships that served as the backbone of their operations. Without them, the Empire's ability to deploy reinforcements or recover damaged vessels would be crippled. Humanity's missiles struck true, setting off a chain reaction that tore through the carriers and sent fragments hurtling into the surrounding ships. Panic spread across the Empire's forces. Their invincibility, the foundation of their doctrine, was crumbling in real time. Ships attempted to retreat, only to be intercepted by secondary strikes from Earth's hidden orbital defenses. The battlefield, once a testament to the Empire's superiority, was now littered with the wreckage of their pride. In the final moments of the battle, the Empire's surviving forces began a hasty retreat, abandoning their dead and damaged. The Supreme Commander's voice crackled over an open channel, filled with disbelief and barely concealed rage. This cannot be. You are nothing. A backwater world. How? The transmission cut off abruptly, silenced by the destruction of their last command vessel. Humanity didn't celebrate as the remnants of the Empire's fleet vanished into the void. There was no triumph in the devastation, only the grim acknowledgement of what had been necessary. Earth had survived, and in doing so had achieved the impossible. The invincible Galactic Empire had been humbled, and humanity's resilience had been etched into the stars. The aftermath of the battle left the galaxy reeling. For the first time in recorded history, the Galactic Empire had been defeated, not by a coalition of advanced species or a rival power, but by a single planet on the outskirts of the galaxy. The news of humanity's defiance spread like wildfire, carried by both fleeing Empire forces and independent observers who had managed to survive the chaos. Whispers of Earth's triumph reached even the most distant systems, planting seeds of doubt in the minds of those who once feared the Empire's absolute power. Within the Empire itself, the defeat was a catastrophic blow. The Supreme Commander, once the embodiment of authority and invulnerability, now faced scrutiny from within. Councils that had previously been subservient began to question their leader's judgment. How could such an insignificant species have dealt such a devastating blow? Was the Empire truly invincible, or had its arrogance blinded it to the possibility of failure? These questions festered, threatening to unravel the cohesion that had held the Empire together for centuries. Back on Earth, the mood was far from celebratory. The cost of victory had been steep. Cities lay in ruins, lives had been lost, and the planet bore the scars of the Empire's initial assault. Yet, there was no despair, only a collective resolve to rebuild and prepare. Humanity had proven its resilience, but they knew this was only the beginning. The Empire had retreated, not been destroyed. Retaliation was inevitable. Earth's leaders took to the airwaves, addressing not only their own people but the galaxy at large. Their message was clear and unflinching. To those who seek to subjugate us, know this, we will not bow. We may be small, but we are not weak. Threaten us again, and you will face the same fate as the fleet that lies in ruins above our skies. To the peoples of the galaxy we extend a hand, not in submission but in solidarity. We know what it means to live under the shadow of oppression. Stand with us, and together we can resist. The message reverberated across the stars. For the countless species who had suffered under the Empire's rule, humanity became a symbol of defiance, proof that even the most powerful oppressors could be challenged. For the Empire, the message was a warning, a declaration that their dominance was no longer absolute. As Earth's people worked to recover, they turned their focus outward. Scientists studied the remains of the Empire's ships, salvaging technology to bolster humanity's defenses. Engineers adapted what they could, while strategists prepared for the battles that would inevitably come. The fight was far from over, but humanity was no longer alone. Messages began to arrive from other planets. Expressions of solidarity, offers of aid, and whispered hopes of rebellion. The galaxy had changed. Humanity had turned the tide, not just for themselves but for countless others who now dared to dream of freedom. The Empire had learned a hard truth. Underestimating humanity was their greatest mistake.